I was at a dinner in the West Village 2 winters ago. 12 people at the table. One woman, she sits on the investment committee of a foundation that deploys 9 figures annually, said perhaps 40 words the entire evening. But I watched the table turn to her every time she spoke, not because of what she said, because of how she said it. Afterward, the host, a woman who has run communications for 2 sitting U.S. senators, leaned over to me and said quietly, "Did you notice she never once said the word basically?" That was the moment I understood that the gap is not vocabulary, it is architecture, and that is exactly what we are building today. 1. The elite eliminated the word honestly from their speech because it implies everything before it was not. This is the one I want to start with because it is the most widespread and the most damaging. Honestly, I think. To be honest with you, if I'm being honest, I hear these phrases constantly in boardrooms, at dinners, and negotiations, and every time I hear them, I think the same thing. What were you being before? A study from the University of Southern California's Linguistics Department on credibility markers in professional speech found that prefaces like honestly and to be honest, used to signal sincerity, had the opposite effect on listeners. They produced a measurable decrease in perceived trustworthiness, because the phrase implies a prior state of dishonesty. It signals that the speaker is aware of a gap between what they usually say and what they are about to say. The women in my social world who communicate at the highest levels do not preface their truths. They simply speak them, directly, without announcing that directness as if it were exceptional. The replacement is not a different phrase. It is the removal of the phrase entirely. What remains is a statement that carries its own authority, because it does not apologize for existing. 2. They replaced I think with a construction that signals conviction without arrogance. Here is a pattern I have watched for 15 years across boardrooms, dinner tables, and the kinds of rooms where significant decisions are made. Women who have been educated in environments of quiet expectation, private schools, Ivy League institutions, old money households, do not say I think when they mean I know. And they do not say I know when they mean I believe. Yet they are precise about the difference. I think is indefinite. It signals that the speaker is not fully committed to what is about to follow and gives the room permission to dismiss it. What I've observed is specific. What I've found consistently is evidenced. My read on this is owned. Research from the Journal of Language and Social Psychology on hedging language and perceived competence found that individuals who replaced indefinite hedges, I think, maybe, sort of, with owned declarative constructions were rated significantly higher in perceived expertise and leadership potential, independent of the actual content of what they said. The content did not change. The construction did, and the room responded to the construction. A corporate attorney I know, she made partner at 37 at one of the most prestigious firms in New York, told me she spent 6 months recording herself in client meetings specifically to eliminate I think from her speech. She said the moment she stopped hedging her own opinions, her clients stopped hedging their trust. If you want the complete internal curriculum, the 30-day structured work that builds the woman behind the communication, the Undeniables blueprint is below. 30 days, 4 phases, $47 for this community. It is the most specific thing I have built. The link is below. 3. The elite do not say no problem. They say something that actually costs them nothing and signals everything. This one will surprise you, because it lives in a category most women have never examined. The social phrase, the response to a thank you, the small exchange that happens dozens of times a day and is almost never considered. No problem, of course. No worries. These are the standard responses in most women's vocabulary. And every one of them carries an embedded signal that most people never notice consciously, but register subconsciously with precision. No problem implies that there could have been a problem. No worries implies that worry was a possibility. Of course is the strongest of the 3, but it has been so diluted by overuse that it has lost its weight. Research from the Journal of Pragmatics on social response language and perceived social class found that individuals from generationally upper-class backgrounds use distinctly different response language in casual social exchanges, language that signaled ease, pleasure, and deliberate engagement rather than reassurance. The phrases they used: "It was my pleasure," "I was glad to," "It meant something to me to be there." These are not formal. They are specific. And specificity, in any exchange, however small, signals a woman who is present, who means what she says, and who treats ordinary moments as worth inhabiting fully. The elite do not reassure. They receive. And the difference between those two things is felt in every room. 4. They never use two words when the architecture of one sentence can do the work of 10. A speechwriter I know. She has drafted language for 2 heads of state and currently advises a short list of C-suite executives on high-stakes communication, told me something that permanently changed how I think about the relationship between silence and authority. She said, "The most powerful communicators I have ever worked with share one habit. They never explain what the sentence already contains. Most women over-explain, not because they are uncertain, because they have been conditioned across decades of being interrupted, dismissed, or misread to build redundancy into their speech. To say the thing and then say the thing again in different words. To add, if that makes sense at the end. To trail a clear statement with 'you know what I mean'." Research from Stanford's Graduate School of Business on executive communication patterns and perceived leadership capacity found that individuals who made their point and then stopped, allowing silence to follow rather than filling it with elaboration, were rated 41% higher in perceived confidence and authority than those who appended their main point with explanation. 41%. From stopping, from trusting that the sentence was complete. The elite do not pad their points, they make them, and then they wait. The silence after a well-constructed sentence is not emptiness, it is weight. And the women who have learned to let it sit, to not rush in and fill it, are the women the room is still thinking about when the dinner is over. 5. The specific replacement for "I'm sorry" that maintains accountability without surrendering authority. This is the one I receive the most questions about from the women in this community, because it touches something most women have never been given permission to examine: the apology. Specifically, the reflexive apology, the "I'm sorry" that arrives before the offense has registered. The "I'm sorry" that opens an email delivering a legitimate request. The "I'm sorry" that precedes a clear, reasonable professional opinion. Women in elite environments, women who have been raised in households where self-possession was taught as a standard, not a personality type, do not apologize reflexively. They do not conflate politeness with self-erasure. A study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology on apology frequency and perceived competence found that women who apologized more frequently than their male counterparts in professional environments were rated as significantly less competent, not more empathetic, by both male and female evaluators. The apology was not read as grace. It was read as doubt. The replacement is not the removal of accountability. It is the redirection of it. Instead of "I'm sorry to bother you with this. I wanted to bring this to you directly." Instead of "I'm sorry, I may be wrong, but here is my read on this." Instead of "Sorry, I'm late. Thank you for waiting." That last one deserves its own moment. "Thank you for waiting" is not a euphemism. It is a reframe. It acknowledges the other person's time without positioning yourself as someone who violated it. It is precise. It is gracious. And it signals a woman who understands that the way she narrates her own behavior is the first draft of how everyone else will narrate it too. 6. They ask questions that are structurally impossible to answer with one word. A diplomat I know, she has spent 20 years representing American interests in multilateral negotiations, told me that the single most underestimated communication skill in any high-stakes environment is not advocacy. It is inquiry. Specifically, the quality of the question. Most people ask closed questions without knowing they are doing it. Did you enjoy the dinner? Was the proposal well received? Do you think that will work? Each of these can be answered with yes or no. And a yes or no answer closes a room. It ends the conversation rather than opening it. It returns the silence to you, and now you must fill it again. Research from Harvard's program on negotiation, on question architecture, and conversational influence found that open-ended, structurally expansive questions, questions that required reflection to answer, produced significantly longer engagement, higher perceived rapport, and greater information transfer than closed questions in both professional and social settings. The women who command rooms, who are remembered as deeply intelligent conversationalists, are almost never the ones speaking most. They are the ones asking the question that no one has thought to ask. What has surprised you most about it? What would you have done differently? What did you notice that others in the room seem to miss? These are not interview questions. They are invitations. And the person being asked them, without exception, leaves the exchange feeling that they were truly, deeply, unusually seen. That feeling is what creates the impression of extraordinary social intelligence. And it came from the question, not the answer. 7. The elite speak about absent people with the same register they would use if those people were present. This one is not taught. It is observed. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. I have sat at enough significant dinners to know that the moment a third party is introduced into a conversation, someone not at the table, someone who made a decision, someone whose name has come up, is the moment that reveals everything about the speaker's actual character, not the character they perform publicly, the one that operates when there is no immediate social cost to carelessness. The elite do not speak differently about absent people. They do not lower their register when the subject cannot hear them. They do not volunteer criticism they would not deliver directly. They do not characterize, diminish, or narrate another person's private choices for the entertainment of the table. Research from the University of Amsterdam on third-party speech patterns and perceived character found that individuals who maintain consistent speech quality and register about absent parties, compared to those who shifted to more casual, critical, or gossiping language, were rated significantly higher in perceived integrity, trustworthiness, and long-term relationship desirability. The room always notices, even when it participates, especially when it participates, because the same people laughing at the absent person are calculating, simultaneously, what you will say about them when they leave. The women who are genuinely trusted in elite environments have learned a single operating principle: speak about anyone as if they are about to walk through the door. Because in every room worth being in, your reputation is built as much by what you say when people cannot defend themselves as by everything else combined. 8. They use specificity where everyone else uses volume. The final one, and in many ways the most important, because it is the pattern that runs beneath every other item on this list. Most people, when they want to be persuasive, add more. More words, more examples, more explanation, more enthusiasm, more emphasis. The elite do the opposite. They reduce. They strip a thought to its most precise, specific, essential form, and they deliver it once, clearly, and then they stop. A communications consultant who advises C-suite executives at 3 of the largest financial institutions in the country told me that the most common note she gives, across industries, across seniority levels, across genders, is this: you don't need the second sentence. The first one was correct. Research from the Wharton School on Persuasion and Language Precision found that arguments presented in fewer, more specific words were rated as significantly more credible and more persuasive than the same arguments presented with more elaboration, even when the additional elaboration was accurate and relevant. The elaboration did not add to the argument. It diluted it. The most powerful sentence you will say in any room today is the one that comes after you have removed everything unnecessary. It is the sentence that survives the edit. And the woman who trusts that sentence, who does not apologize for it, does not pad it, does not rush to explain it, is the woman the room remembers. Not for her volume, for her precision. Here is what I need you to do. Choose 2 patterns from this list, the 2 that produced the clearest recognition when you heard them. The ones where something inside you said, I do that. Write them down tonight. Then tomorrow, in your very next significant conversation, replace them. Once. Just once. And notice what changes in the room. Come back and tell me. I replaced Gort with Gord, and this is what I observed. I want to know what shifted. I read every single one of those comments. If you want to go deeper into the complete communication and presence curriculum, the specific, daily, internal work that produces a woman whose words carry weight in every room she enters, the Undeniables blueprint is below. 30 days. The women already inside are building something real. I will see you in the next one. Isabel?